Yeah,
Just a little bit.
only getting colder.
I know. Hey, thanks for joining us for KARE 11 News at noon. We got a lot of news to get to this afternoon. We're watching, for starters, a trial is underway right now for one of the people accused in the Feeding Our Future case. We're also waiting on an ownership announcement from both the Minnesota Lynx and the Timberwolves. Plus, some new tariffs start today. But first, we got to talk about the cold. First snow, then cold. What's going on?
A little bit of snow, yeah, and now we're going to be dealing with the cold. It's that 1-2 punch. It comes in with these winter systems. Still a little bit of light snow out there right now. There's a look at your satellite and radar, and it's really going to be confined to the I-90 corridor, southwest Minnesota primarily. Elsewhere, we could have a few light flurries around the Twin Cities, and probably a little bit better chance of a light snow shower in northern Minnesota. But overall, this is very minor stuff. There is a winter weather advisory until 9 o'clock southwest corner. And down there, we'll probably see 1 to maybe 3 inches of snow. But that advisory there will be there for the better part of the day. Right now at MSP, 13 degrees, feeling like 3. And the clouds have been building in this morning into the afternoon. West-southwest winds at 7 miles an hour. And as we take a look at our afternoon rolling into the evening hours, temperatures won't move a whole lot. They're definitely not going to warm much, but they're not dropping a whole lot right now, and we will be under some cloudy skies. We also have a cold weather advisory for about the northern half, almost northern 2/3 of the region, as we go from late tonight into tomorrow morning. Wind chills as low as 35 below for that area highlighted in light blue. And this is why we have some very cold temperatures coming up for the next couple of days. We'll talk about any warm-ups and any snow we might find embedded in there as well.
All right, thanks for the breakdown, Jamie. Now to our top story. Today is the deadline to decide who owns the Minnesota Timberwolves and the Lynx. A ruling could come down at any minute now. Audrey Russo walks us through the options being weighed.
After nearly a year of back and forth, the decision of who owns Minnesota's pro basketball teams will be settled today. A 3-member arbitration panel will decide to either stick with the tried and true or move into a new era of the team. Last spring, current owner Glenn Taylor tried to cancel a deal to sell the Lynx and the Timberwolves to minority owners Mark Lori and Alex Rodriguez. Taylor said the teams were no longer for sale and that Lori and A-Rod missed a deadline. Now, the pair countered that they had secured funding in time. Even if the panel rules in favor of Lori and Rodriguez, the NBA Board of Governors would still have to approve the sale. We spoke to some fans who tell us they're hopeful that ownership will change hands.
Excited for change. Good ownership is a really big deal in sports. It influences everything from the top down, and good ownership just makes a huge impact.
Now, if Taylor wins, he gets to keep the teams, but it's unclear who would take them over from the 83-year-old down the road. This deal with Lori and A-Rod has been in the works since 2021. Back to you.
Thanks to Audrey for that. We'll have to see what happens. In other headlines this afternoon, 6 kids ages 11 to 15 are now facing potential charges in connection with a carjacking over the weekend. Police say the group attacked a 62-year-old woman while she was walking away from her car in northeast Minneapolis. They allegedly tackled her to the ground, stole her keys, and then took off. Police say with the help of some of the parents, they were able to find the car, coax them out of hiding, and take them into custody on Saturday. According to MPD, all 6 already have active investigations with MPD, and one of them involving an attempted murder. The MPD curfew task force assisted in the arrests, and since being implemented in August of last year, Minneapolis has seen a 66% drop in new youth offenders of violent crimes and a nearly 40% drop in all juvenile violent crime. Now to St. Paul, where 2 people are dead after a fire that started in a garage yesterday afternoon. It happened on the city's east side at a home on Sims Avenue. Investigators believe the fire started accidentally after a space heater tipped over. They say the 2 men lived there and were trapped inside. These are the first fire-related deaths in St. Paul this year. Well, it's the first full week where both Democrats and Republicans will be back on the Minnesota House floor. It's also the first time some committees will meet. Lawmakers are returning after striking a power-sharing deal that makes GOP Representative Lisa Demuth the lone speaker for 2 years. Today, the new Fraud Oversight Committee will meet for the first time ever. Demuth also promised lawmakers will start working on the next 2-year budget today. The trial against the alleged ringleader in the massive Feeding Our Future pandemic fraud case is underway right now. Just a few hours ago, opening statements started for the former executive director, Amy Bach. Michelle Beck has a look at what we know so far.
We'll listen in on opening statements today as prosecutors try to pin down Amy Bach for allegedly turning the nonprofit she led into a pandemic fraud scheme worth $250 million stolen dollars. Prosecutors say the former executive director of Feeding Our Future recruited and conspired with others to set up fake meal sites that claimed to serve kids in need. Bach will be tried together with a former restaurant owner accused of laundering the federal reimbursement money he got out of this. There were 2 other co-defendants, but they pleaded guilty 2 weeks ago, and now they're expected to be star witnesses in the trial. Prosecutors say they have the evidence to show Bach also got bribes and kickbacks. Bach's attorney has said she is innocent, hoodwinked, even played, quote, by the people she trusted.
On the national level, President Donald Trump is expected to make another tariff announcement at some point today. We're told he'll formally announce a 25% tariff on all steel imports. The U.S. imports more steel from Canada than any other country. He's also expected to roll out tariffs on aluminum and do reciprocal tariffs, which is taxing any country that taxes American exports. At the same time, Chinese tariffs on certain U.S. goods start today. Analysts say the upside of the tariffs is they might help domestic producers, but the downside could be higher prices for Americans. Meanwhile, federal employees have less than 12 hours to accept the Trump administration's buyout offer. The deadline was originally slated for last week, but was temporarily blocked by a federal judge after several unions filed lawsuits. A hearing is set for today, but already more than 65,000 workers have accepted the offer, which promises to pay them through September if they resign now. According to NBC News, the administration is telling workers if they don't accept the offer, they could lose their jobs. This afternoon, nearly all Consumer Financial Protection Bureau work is on hold after an order from its newly appointed leader. That includes monitoring of banks, lenders, and financial giants. Employees were also told to work remotely this week, saying its headquarters building will not be open. There's no word yet on why, when, or how financial protections might change or be reinstated. And the days of the pennies could soon be in the past. President Trump has directed the Treasury Department to stop making them. Yeah, he announced the change on social media last night, citing the cost of creating a penny. In fact, it costs a little less than 4 cents to create the 1-cent piece. The U.S. Mint reported losing more than $85 million last year, creating more than 3 billion pennies. It's unclear if the president has the power to eliminate a coin from circulation, though. Now to a health alert this afternoon. We're seeing some alarming flu numbers, now breaking a 15-year high. That's according to data from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. So far, an estimated 13,000 people have died from the disease, including 57 kids. The CDC estimates at least 24 million people have gotten the flu this season, which again is the highest in 15 years. All right, we got to talk about the Super Bowl. For the second time in franchise history, the Eagles are Super Bowl champions after blowing out the Chiefs in New Orleans last night. It caused a bit of chaos. Take a look here. These are fans out celebrating in Philly overnight. Police had to clear things out. You see fires there after the partying got a little bit out of hand. KARE 11's Will Hall has the highlights.